Subhadra and Krishna blesses his devotees. Text number 52. देवाक्षेत्राणि तीर्थानि दर्शनास्पर्शनार्च नहि सनैः पुनन्ति कालेन तदपि अर्हत मेक्षया. This is Deva, temple deities, Kshetrani, pilgrim sites, Tirthani, and sacred rivers. Darshana, by being seen. Sparshana, by being touched. Archanai, of being worshipped. Sanai, gradually. Punanti, purified. Kalena, with time. Tatapi, the same. Arhatama, of those Brahmanas who are most worshipable. Ikshaya, by the glance. Translation and purport by the disciples of Srila Prabhupada. Translation. One can gradually become purified by seeing, touching, and worshipping temple deities, place of pilgrimage, and holy rivers. But one can attain the same result immediately simply by receiving the glance of exalted sages. Purport. Rather than remaining in seclusion and concentrating on their own perfection, Vaishnava Brahmanas of the highest order dedicate their lives to sharing the benediction of the Lord's devotional service. In the words of the sons of King Prachinibarihi, Tesham Vicharatam Padbyam Tirthanam Pavanechaya Bhishtasya Kim Narocheta Tavakanam Samagamaha. Dear Lord, your personal associates, your devotees, wander all over the world to purify even the holy places of pilgrimage. It is not such it is not such activity pleasing to those who are actually afraid of material existence. Bhagavatam 4:30-37. And Prahlad Maharaj says, Prayena deva munaya swamukhi kama kama maunam charanti vijane na parartha nishta naitan vihaya kripanan vimukmukha eko nanyam tvad asya saranam brahmato nupasye. My dear Lord Narsimhadev, I see that there are many saintly persons indeed, but they are interested only in their own deliverance, not caring for the big cities and towns. They go to Himalayas or the forests to meditate with vows of silence, Maunavrata. They are not interested in delivering others. As of me, however, I do not wish to be liberated alone, leaving aside all these poor fools and rascals. I know that without Krishna consciousness, without taking shelter of your lotus feet, one cannot be happy. Therefore, I wish to bring them back to shelter at your lotus feet. Bhagavatam 7:9-44. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Agnanaatimirandasya Nagananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Sri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Tisvapadantikam. Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamsha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sagana Raghunathan Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Saitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamsha Namahom Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Iti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Sunyavadi Paschatya Desatarine Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaura Bhaktavinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. Seek blessings of Adipurush Prabhu, Arjuna Prabhu, Chanitai Prabhu, Jambavan Prabhu, and all the devotees online. So this verse, Lord Krishna is speaking to Shutadev. So we have been discussing how Krishna has traveled all the way from Dwarka to Mithila. It's a quite long distance across the subcontinent. It is of India. Dwarka to Mithila is like, I just saw how long it is, how far it is. More than 1500 miles. And Krishna didn't took a chartered flight, he took a chariot. So he took a chariot to go. The chariot, we can see the speed of chariot, in a day, a few miles it travels. So he just to see these two devotees, Sutadev and Bahulashvas, he traveled all the way from Dwarka to Mithila. Quite a long distance. It would have taken few days. And he didn't go as a family vacation. He traveled with the great sages, the Narada Muni and all many great pure devotees of him. He went with them. So if sometimes anybody goes, they're trying to go for a vacation. You want to meet someone and all. So Krishna is not. So in this pastimes, all after Kurukshetra war, Krishna is mainly meeting different devotees, giving them what they want. Like we just saw how Krishna fulfilled desires of Devaki and brought back her sons. So other episodes also, later Krishna brings the sons of a Brahmana, and he gives darshan to Shiva also, like that. So all these chapters here, Krishna is mainly seeing that because he is now the pastimes are his earthly pastimes are coming to end. So all the devotees who are wanting to see him or wanting something from him, he's fulfilling those. So these two devotees in Mithila, they have been always longing to see Krishna. So Rupa Goswami explains in Nectar of Devotion, this devotional service of Shritadev is very rare, that Krishna himself came all the distance to see him. So it's not easily achievable by anyone. So he's a very exalted devotee that Krishna himself came to both of these devotees to see them. And as soon as he came to Mithila, these devotees immediately came forward. They stood inviting them to their homes, and then how they received, we saw it earlier chapters. Especially in these verses, Krishna is emphasizing the greatness of his devotees. Because Shutadev was and Bahulash was also very busy, very much in ecstasy to worship Krishna and to receive Krishna and to glorify Krishna, that they practically forgot themselves, what to speak of the surroundings. Shutadev is how he was just, Bahulash was, he was just offering obeisance and he didn't get up. So they practically forgot themselves. So Krishna here is telling that from previous verse onwards, he's in the previous verse purport also, Sridhar Swami says that Krishna directing Shutadev towards the devotees, these great devotees who are traveling with Krishna, to glorify them or to associate with them. The Prabhupada mentions like how Electricity is there everywhere, electricity. It's in different cables all over the city. The power is flowing. But only in the right bulb you can see it manifesting. That electricity is turning to light, and you are able to see that. So like that, Krishna is present everywhere. Krishna's messages are there everywhere. But it's only through devotees that it manifests Krishna's messages. So Krishna, Hare Krishna. Thank you. So here, especially Krishna is mentioning in this translation, he's comparing to holy places and even to deity worship and to holy rivers. He's telling that by deity worship, by visiting holy places and holy rivers, one gradually become purified. It's a gradual process. But one can attain the same result immediately simply by receiving the glance of exalted sages. But an exalted sage, a pure devotee, if he just glances, one will achieve simply by their glance. It is. One need not go to any holy places. We see practically in so many devotees' lives. They became devotee just by just coming in touch with one devotee. Many of the devotees, how they became devotees or started taking practice of Krishna consciousness is by just associating with one devotee, or sometimes Prabhupada, in place of Prabhupada, he just glance. Many became devotees by his glance. They just followed them. Or just, some devotees on Sankirtan, they were just going on Sankirtan, some just followed them. They stayed, moved into temple. And we see how Vishwajana Swami and Tamal Krishna Swami, they were anywhere they were going, they were just people who meet first time and just got into the buses and then went. So it's just by their glance. So we don't hear that, oh, I became devotee by worshipping deities and by going to holy places and by taking bath in holy rivers. We don't see that. I have not came across anyone at least that he says, I became devotee because I daily went and took bath in Ganges in India, or in Himalayas I was there, or I was doing worship in my home. So that's why Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, the end, that those who preach this message of Bhagavad Gita is most dear to me. Of course, in the later verse in this same chapter, Krishna is telling that my devotees are more dearer than me, my 400 form. He's telling they're more dearer than me. And then he's also telling that Naham Tishtanti Vaikunta, that I don't stay in Vaikunta. Yatra Gayantri Madbhakto. Wherever my devotees are singing my glories, I am there. So Krishna also, while going from Dwarka to Mithila, he was going with all the sages, and what they are doing, they are all glorifying Krishna and his pastimes. And Krishna is traveling with them. So he likes his devotees to be glorified. So when Krishna is glorified, he cannot be glorified alone. He's never alone. Then always his devotees are there. Here also we seeing how Shrutadev is glorifying only Krishna. Then he start turning, hey Shrutadev, you don't know about this. You're not talking about them. So, so Krishna always, because when in devotees, when they are glorifying Krishna, it's always they are glorifying devotees also. So there is a famous verse also which says Tirti Kurvanti Tirtani. Verse which says about Vidura, Bhagavad Vida Bhagavatas Tirtha Bhuta Swayam Vibho Tirti Kurvanti Tirtani Swantasnetna Gadabrata. So where he's telling that this Yudhishthira Maharaj is telling that you are the personified holy place. He's telling to addressing to Vidura, where he's telling that wherever you go, that becomes holy place. And Prabhupada writes that in that verse that the holy places get their potency to purify others because there are these devotees. Because these are devotees. We just saw earlier this year 200, 300 million people are so gathering at Kumbh Mela. And most of them there are attracted to the sages there. There are so many sages or devotees visited that because on this main this Mauni Amasya, 90 million people on one day came to bathe. Why 90 million they are came? Because on that day, one of the most important day of bathing, all the great sadhus have come. The sadhus go and bathe. To just see them, people are there. Millions of people just to take darshan of them. They came to just take darshan of them. Actually, Snaga sadhus and all, they are not seen otherwise. The whole year they disappear somewhere. Nobody knows where they all disappear, where they go. All this great stage devotees. So still it is. People are coming to see this great devotees. There is a famous we all sing the Vaishnava bhajan. Ei baro karuna karo Vaishnava Thakur. Patita pavana tama bina keho nahi. So in that verse, it's telling that Jahare nikate gele papa dura chai. Where one approaches a devotee, all that person's sins will go away. Emona Dayala Prabhu Keba Kota Pai. You cannot find anything anywhere else or anything else where so much merciful. Gangara Parasa Hoite Pashate Pavan Darshane Pavitra Kore Ei Tumara Gun. Exact translation of this verse which we are discussing is translated into this song, in this two stanzas of this song by Narottam Das Thakur. Gangare Parasara Hoye Pashyate Pavan. By prolonged bathing in Ganga, one may get purified. Darshana Pavitra Kare Tamara Gun. Or just by your glance, O Vaishnava, one will get purified. Same verse it is, like Krishna is telling here. And how one by prolonged, by gradually, one becomes purified by bathing in holy river or place of pilgrimage or visiting. So these Vaishnavas, these songs of Vaishnava Acharyas, they're actually all translations of different verses. They're as good as scriptures. And that's why Prabhupada quotes them in his lectures always. He quotes them as a scripture. It's exact translation. Haristane aparade tare harinam, Tamara sthana aparada nahi paritran. So we need to see that, okay, devotee is so merciful. He has all these qualities just by his glance. Devotees will get purified. At the same time, we should be careful not to offend them. So if by knowingly or unknowingly, if you offend devotees, if you take sides when devotees are transcendental. Sometimes their activities we cannot understand. Krishna sometimes acts in such a way in their lives that it looks like, they have some differences or they have some um, difficulties or they have some disturbances, so many things. But if we take sides or if we offend them or say ill about devotees, it's Vaishnava aparad. So he's telling here, Haristane aparade tare harinam, Tumasthana aparade nahi paritham. If someone offends a devotee, there is no remedy. If you offend deities, if you offend Krishna, the remedy is there. Remedy is to chant the holy names. We chant the holy name of Krishna. Like at the end of the deity worship, we say, yeah. The last verse, it says that last verse. Pratignatava Govinda.
न मे भक्त प्रणश्यते इति संस्मृत्य संस्मृत्य प्राणान् संहारय.
So Krishna is telling, that you will take care of devotees. Because of that, I'm just remembering that and doing this. So please forgive our offenses. Like that, we pray, worship. So it is any offense we do, we can pray to Krishna. We chant His holy names and ask for mercy. And Krishna is telling, I'll take care of my devotee never perishes. So there is a hope. But if one offends a devotee, there is no hope. And then next verse is telling, तुम्हारे हृदय सदा गोविंदा विश्राम, गोविंदा कहे मोरा वैष्णव परान. So in a devotee's heart, always Lord is residing, and Lord is telling that Mora Vaishnava Paran. And then in my heart, the Vaishnavas are in my heart, or they are more dear to me. So like that. प्रति जन्मे करे आसे चरणेर धूली नरोत्तमा कर दया अपनारा बोली. So Narottam Das is Narottam Das Thakur is telling that I just desire dust of your lotus feet in every birth I may take. So this is the glories of devotee. And then here in the purport, especially, so he's telling, it's mentioned here by the disciples of Prabhupada that there are many devotees. There are some who wants to be in seclusion and I just want to practice. But the great Parivajakacharyas are the greatest among devotees. They don't stay in a holy place or seclusion. They come to the cities and towns. He's quoting Prabhupada's word, Prabhupada, Prahlad Maharaj. He's quoting this verse that Nrsimhadev is praying that I don't want to be liberated alone. The fools and rascals in the cities. He's telling Vimukhas, Vimumukhya. Those are like Kripana Vimumukhya. He's telling that those who are like Kripana, miserly. So those who are in the cities and towns, they are very misers in terms of spiritual practice. They're they're very rich in the material things, but they're poor in the spiritual practice. So the devotees are coming to them. So Prahlad is telling that I want to go them and bring them back to your shelter. So Prabhupada also in the same. He retired in Vrindavan. He's already staying nice. That's a goal many devotees keep in their life. That I want to go and retire in Vrindavan. I know many devotees who have purchased homes in Vrindavan or who have their goal is, I want to go and retire in Vrindavan or Mayapur. Then just retire. Practice bhajan and retire. But Prabhupada, at the age of 65, is already in Vrindavan, already retired in sannyas. But he took Jaladuta and then he came all the way here, all the hardships. How there are heart attacks and it was not an easy journey, it is. And after coming here, the first year, he didn't have a proper place. He changed 6 places in 1 year in this city. 5 places with Butler, Pennsylvania is first one. Then he came to this city. 5th place is 22nd Avenue. So in the matter of 10 months or 8 months, Butler stayed 1 month, 2 months. Then he came here. So practically every couple of months, Prabhupada is, if you say average, every couple of months, he stayed in a new place in the city. Upper West Side, then near Central Park, then Bowery area, there 2 places, and then here 22nd Avenue. He didn't have a place, he didn't have any followers, anything. But because he's following this, the previous acharyas, how that to become that via medium to deliver Krishna's message. Because Prabhupada took that service and he glorified Krishna in that way by spreading, by sharing that knowledge. Krishna is glorifying Prabhupada as founder Acharya of ISKCON, and then every day we do Guru Puja to Prabhupada. Every day we are glorifying Prabhupada. So that is the quality of a devotee. Now some may ask, okay, they are all pure devotees. Krishna is traveling with pure devotees. Prabhupada is pure devotee. But I see not all devotees are pure devotees. I have problems with devotees. This pure devotee spoke to me like this. This devotee does like this. So what about them? So we can see that not only the pure devotees are able to transform the hearts of others. Even someone who are just practicing very recently or who are just started practicing, they also have potency to transform the hearts of others. We have seen that. A newcomer, we say in the ISKCON language, newcomer, or a person coming newly. Now those person, they go and share, they go on Sankirtan or they go and talk about Krishna. Whatever they heard, they repeat because the message is same. It doesn't matter who is repeating the message. So anybody who repeats the message, irrespective of how much that person is qualified or not qualified, how much that person is chanting rounds fully in concentration, or how many rounds that person is chanting, how much principles they are following, what all they're doing, doesn't matter. As long as one is repeating message of Krishna, message of Prabhupada, even in his books. So as long as one is repeating, then there is the potency is there. The potency is there. So then still they're considered as they are devotees. They are still worshipable, are still to be glorified. So it's very easy to find faults among with that such devotees who are in the practice, devotees in practice. So we see all across majority of our association is with those devotees who are devotees in practice. Or the Kanishta Adhikaris, it's mentioned, Kanishta Adhikari or Madhyama Adhikari. Uttama Adhikaris association very rare we get. But still, majority of our purification or advancement happens by associating with these devotees. Because the great personalities, the Uttama devotees, the pure devotees, they are not going to correct us. They are not going to tell what we lack. They just encourage. Oh, okay, you're doing this service, oh, that's very wonderful. Encourage. But it is this, our fellow devotees who are in practice like us, they say, Prabhu, something is wrong with you. You should not have spoken like this. You should not have done like this. You should not have did like this. So they are the ones who guide us. So they are the ones whom we should be non-envious. Generally, the tendency is when we come across equal devotees, envy will come in. Oh, that person is doing this, I should do this. This person is serving this festival, I'll do this festival. This person is doing that service, I'll do this service. So we get kind of sometimes competition or envy comes in. But to see that no person is serving, they are serving in their capacity. What Krishna is unlimited. He can accept everyone's service. So there is shouldn't be any competition. It is. So we need to see how we can worship or we can glorify these devotees who are equal to us. That's what Krishna is telling also, like the sages, they are all pure devotees. Sutadev, he is also pure devotee. Even among pure devotees, Krishna is telling that no, Sutadev, glorify these sages to whom they are coming. So So it is at all levels. It is at all levels. For even when you purify, we are pure, become pure or impure. It is our main service is to associate with devotees and to glorify always devotees and not to offend them, not to offend devotees. Because like Narottam Das Thakur is telling, once we offend devotees, then there is no way, there is no destination, there is nothing else remains of a devotee. His devotional creeper is completely destroyed. Devotional creeper completely destroys. So in that conclusion, that just to summarize, Krishna is telling how to glorify devotees and not to offend devotees. And always, whenever we get a chance, we need to speak good about devotees and glorify them. Even a small thing you see, that is, you have to encourage each other. Keep encouraging each other. So we have 10 minutes. So, Nick.
Thank you, Sundarnath, for a wonderful class. Very simple message. Glorify the devotees. Do not offend. Krishna consciousness is simple for the simple. Glorify, do not offend. But somehow or other, the application of that sometimes may get complicated. Right? Do you have anything to say on that? On the application of this simple principle? Or sometimes devotees, I don't know, they get naughty and they need to be corrected sometimes. We need to be corrected all the time. How to do that without offending our dear devotees?
Yeah, only correcting is different, and there's a difference between correcting and offending. So sometimes our correction may taken as offense when we don't have that adhika, when we don't have that position. So we need to have that position to correct devotees. There are certain position as a mentor, as a leader, or as a temple president. Some position should be there as a guru. Position should be there. When a position is there, then only in that position, as a service, one may correct devotees. Otherwise, when you don't have that position, we should not even correct the devotees. We should rather tell those who are in that position. If you see that some devotees you observe something, the devotees are not behaving, or they're not behaving as expected. It's better to inform those who are in a position to correct. If we go and correct, then it will become offense. So we need to always see that, and a practical application is that we need to go and inform those who are in position.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Ishwari Sundari Spirit Soul has a hand up.
Yes.
Hare Krishna. Thank you for class. I'm going to keep the screen off because I'm not in a position to be on screen. Question for you is, if let's say you were upset at another devotee because they're doing something that's not right and over again. So it's kind of like you start to get frustrated and you vent to somebody else about it because you need to get it off your shoulder and figure out what's the best way to handle it. But sometimes that sounds like I'm offending the devotee, even though I'm just trying to clarify my situation and what's going wrong. But there's always that frustration that comes out in the conversation. How do you handle that? Like, is that an offense, or is that just you trying to get clarity to deal with the situation?
So we have to see ourselves, what is the intention in our heart is. If our heart is to find faults and we have envy and all, then it's an offense. If we are, like you said, if our intention is, I'm getting disturbed by this behavior or by this, and I just want to get some clarification, get some different perspective or different understanding. Things are not in my control. So if that intention is there, and then we are talking about, the behavior of other devotees, or sometimes I know some ill about or bad about other devotees, it's about my clarity. Hey, my mind is thinking I may be wrong, but I think this devotee is behaving like this, or something bad about this devotee. So how can I see this in different way? And you are revealing that, it's revealing to others. And then, that devotee also says, yeah, I also observed this. Then, like I said earlier, bring it to those who are in a position to correct that devotee.
Okay, wonderful. Yeah, the intention is to, because this person, let's say it's a personal thing for me, is very important to me. And I love this person, but they're doing things that are not inappropriate, but just frustrating. So it's like, I feel like when I vent and I say, how do I figure this out? Because I don't want to burn bridges. And if it means I have to give this up to keep that friendship or that connection, then I'll do that. But what's the right thing to do? You can't always give up like a seva, something just to please somebody else, because then they'll want the next one and the next one, and it never ends. It's a cycle. My other question to this, if we have time, right? Really quickly, if somebody is coming up to us and offending another God brother, God sister, another devotee, and you've already told them, um, that's not right, but they continue to do it all the way to the point where they even call you all the way in India to give you gossip. And it's not about correcting. At first, it was to correct their behavior, but then I don't know if that was true or not. But then they continue with it, and now it becomes like negative talk about the person. Like, you're not going to believe me. I'm going to talk bad about this person, so you just don't hang out with this person anymore. Talk to them, like, and then what do you do, at that point? Like, do you just disconnect? Because I feel bad as a devotee to disconnect from other people who are on the path and are trying, but I'm not there to change people either. So I get caught between staying close to people that are not good energy, and then they're talking about me because I'm offending them because I'm no longer their friend, or I ratted them out or something like that because it was so bad. So what do you do in situations like that? Is it okay to step away from somebody who's just doing those inappropriate things, and you feel okay in your heart to do that?
You ask such a practical and question that everybody goes through this. Practically, everyone. I've seen myself also, like, every one of us goes through this. Some devotees, I don't know, they have this transcendental rasa. They feast on talking bad about others. They they first come and start talking, all different good things. Then ultimately the topic goes to bad mouthing devotees.
Mm-hmm.
There are many are like that. We come across everyone has this experience. At the end of the time, sometimes like devotees, they end up in gossip and bad mood, like you are telling, to the extent that they're calling you in India also and telling bad about devotees. So we know these personalities. Sometimes we know who these personalities are. So we need to tell them clearly, hey, don't talk about that person. We have to clearly draw a line here, put a boundary there. Even if sometimes they understand, I cannot talk bad about others to this devotee, and they'll find someone else. They will still keep finding. So somehow some devotees, the transcendental again, like they like to do this in spite of telling also. But that's where you need to clearly draw the line that please let's not talk about this person. And they have few persons in their lives also. They're always like few persons they can count in fingers, that they always one or two or two persons with they always the topic comes to about them, because something happened or something, whatever reason is, but the topic goes there about bad mouthing about some devotees. So we just have to stop that. Say, hey, I can't hear this.
So set
Okay,
boundaries.
again.
So
Sorry.
set the boundaries. Have the conversation. Set the boundaries. And then if they continue, that would be okay to step away and say, to yourself, I just can't be around this person anymore.
No, it's not about that. I can't be a person. This, we don't want to again burn more bridges. Like already they did that with someone. That's why they're talking like that. So we just have to say, we just have to divert the conversation to something else. Like, no, let's not talk about this. talk about you. How are you doing? What are you doing?
How's your chanting going?
Yeah, exactly. How the
Okay.
practices are going. How are you talk about yourself? This is what I
Yes.
am doing. I am doing. This is what encouraging me. This is what inspiring me
Yeah.
to share with you. So we just have to skillfully divert the conversation, because even if you set the boundaries, sometimes the topic comes there. We have to stop it and say they'll get it. After some time, they'll get it. Okay, I cannot gossip with this person.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Prabhu. Very
It's a
helpful.
it's a gradual process, Ishwari Sundar. You have to gradually teach the persons that Isabel Spirit Soul, Ishwari Sundar, is not that kind of devotee with whom they can delight in gossiping.
Thank you. Yes, no gossip for me, please.
Yeah, by your behavior, you will come to know. Then all devotees around you come to know. No, this person, I cannot gossip with this person. This person doesn't
Yeah.
gossip. So that
And
should
then
be.
they don't want to hang out with me anymore. No, just kidding. I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
It's okay. We'll send somebody to hang out with you,
I
Isabel.
become the boring one then. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Okay, maybe temple room. It's 8 o'clock, but maybe temple room has one burning comment.
Temple room, yes.
Hare Krishna. It's a quick one. Sometimes you can't be too polite. You have to be kind in how you speak, but you can't be too polite. If someone's rude to you, you have to say, like, no, stop.
Yeah.
This is not a nice conversation.
Not a doormat situation. Yes. Thank you, Sundarnath, for a wonderful class, wonderful discussion, wonderful garland. Tilak is on. Vaikuntha Man,
Hare Krishna.
Sundarnath.
Bhagavatam ki jai, Prabhupada ki jai.
Dear devotees, we need some more cameras. It's just Anandi and I. Isabel, Ishwari Sundari is exempt from this requirement. So good to see you. Thank you.
Right on, reverence. Nice race, from across the ocean, material suffering. Contain the mystery ship. And my conscience purified. From his lotus flow. Dasher to those sweets of perfection and bosom points. He opens my darkened eyes to close my heart. He is my Lord, birth after birth. From an ecstatic remembrance. My ignorance is destroyed. It is your sacred sky. That's very nice, redemption, mercy, reign of the Lord, Lord of this peace. Oh, Master, be merciful unto us. You give us a shade of your lotus. And this is the Lord of free worlds. You take out your lotus. Yeah. Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada.
Thank you, Janitai Prabhu.
Hari Hari.
Hare Krishna. Welcome back. Welcome to the Afterglow. We have there's something from Krishna Gauda in the chat. It's looks like he's asking for some marriage advice. He wants let me read. Okay, younger brother. I don't know that if here it is. My brother. I'm currently looking for a wife to get married to because I need help with housework and cooking. Krishna Gauda, are you ready? Bhima Prabhu, would you like to handle this? That sounds utilitarian.
Yeah,
to
one
me.
word, don't. That's the wrong, is that a joke? Is that a joke? Is that a serious?
Krishna
I need
Gauda,
somebody to help with the housework.
yeah. The question itself, Krishna Gauda Prabhu.
That's
Um, Bhima Prabhu, can I say
a
something before?
horrific.
Yeah, it's harsh, but let me say something before Bhima Prabhu interjects. Krishna Gauda Prabhu, think of a person that you would like to marry, and then think of a perfect gentleman that she would love to marry, and
Walked out the side thing. I got to get everybody. He'll come over.
become that person, Krishna Gauda. Become that person whom she would marry. Disappear for a year. Become that person, and then Krishna will send you a companion when you are ready for them. So that's my 5 cents. Would anyone else like to speak? Okay, I see no volunteers. Okay. So Krishna, we were praying for you. You are hearing from Srimad Bhagavatam. You're on the right trajectory. I can tell. Everything will follow. Okay, Min has her hand up.
Hare Krishna. I don't have a suggestion to this question. I'm sorry. I just wanted to respond to Jambavan's offering there about, I heard that as, I've been reading the Nectar of Devotion, and it seems like there are clear instructions as to how to deal with this kind of situations where Prabhupada says that anger can be utilized properly when we see others offending Vaishnavas. And I really like that we don't have to stay quiet, that we can defend Krishna and his devotees. And in terms of association, I'm just thinking about what Dhanardhar Maharaj says all the time, that when we see something that we don't like in someone else, especially a devotee, we should try to look at their inspired side always, instead of their faults, and that we should always, and the Nectar of Instruction also speaks about that, we pay respect to every Vaishnava, but we move towards associating with mature Vaishnavas, where we could actually learn from and be inspired by. So I'm just sharing that because I just read that and it was just so helpful.
Thank you, man. I love that point about the inspired side. Every devotee has it, the inspired side, and we want to refer to that at all times. And if we treat the people according to their inspired side, like it's all they have, then they will rise to the occasion. And eventually Krishna will take care of the rest for them and for us too. Thank you, man. Thank you. Okay, I have a plumbing emergency at work. I have to, that's my inspired side for now. I'll go deal with it. Thank you very much, dear devotees, for your association. We love you. We need you. Adipusha Prabhu, you haven't spoken today. Is Prabhupada urging you to speak? You're speaking already, it seems. Okay, Adipusha Prabhu is in outer space. You are Adipusha Prabhu, please come down. Somebody, Angel, please help him unmute. Bhima Prabhu, you need to just abandon your farm and become Adipusha Prabhu's secretary. Just come down here.
We got it now.
And I have a lot of training in stubborn-headed bulls.
Can you hear me okay?
Yes, go ahead.
Okay. Yeah, we were reading last night about Prajapati Daksha. He had 10,000 sons. And then Narada Muni came and convinced them all. They were out performing austerities, preparing to get married and propagate the universe. Narada Muni spoke to them, and they decided, well, we're all just going to become renunciates. And Prajapati Daksha was so disturbed. 10,000 sons, he lost them. And then Lord Brahma consoled him, and he produced another 1,000 sons. So Prabhupada says in the purport that Prajapati Daksha was very expert at producing children, and then Narada Muni was very expert at encouraging them in devotional service. And Prabhupada said, but even though some people didn't like what Narada Muni was doing, they kept doing it. And then it talks about the duties of the Brahmin: to study the scripture, to present what we've heard from scripture to others, and to engage in worship, and to introduce others into that experience and that discipline of worship. And then the duty of the Brahmin is to go out among the people and encourage them, request, inspire them to give a donation so that they benefit, and then collect as much as possible and use a portion of that, whatever, as little as possible, for our own maintenance. and give the rest back to society in the form of temples, in the form of books distribution and prasad distribution, and performing arts and graphic arts that illustrate the principles of the scripture. Collect the money and then give it back.
Is that in regards to today's class?
Just what I read last night. You
Okay,
asked me
so-
what I can share and what I prayed to Srila Prabhupada. I prayed to Prabhupada what to say, and he said, tell them what you read last night. So I did.
Thank
It's
you.
okay with you.
Thank you, Adi Purusha. Thank you. It's very valuable. I'm going to go out there and collect as much as I can, spend as little as I can, and give back.
Yeah, Prabhupada tells us the idea is to take as less for ourselves this year and give more this year. So that's kind of a challenge, to minimize our maintenance and to maximize our giving. It's so cool to have a life of giving. Whoever you meet, can always give them something. The holy
I
name.
thought that's why we had you, Adi. How are you supposed to take up that mantle so that we could just have a good time? I mean, come on, man.
It's for everyone. There's no shortage of devotional service.
Yeah.
We just saw
Thanks.
Gauranga from Chowpatty loading up prasadam in a van to go distribute prasadam in Queens. That was a miracle. It's like seeing Prabhupada. When I see Srila Prabhupada, it looks like he's in living color and everything else is in black and white. He's somehow or other here, but in a very intense and beautiful way. All
Nice.
glories to Srila Prabhupada.
Nice. Wonderful offering, Adi Purusha. Devotional service. When
I've
we are
only read-
engaged in service, everything is in color. When we aren't, it's black and white. Thank you. I like it. Taking it away from this class. All right. Karen and family, please unmute yourself and stream Hare Krishna. Isaiah is around. Annabelle. Thank you. Thank you. That's a glimpse of a spiritual world. That's all they do there. Okay, Hare Krishna.